Hello, everybody. This is Kody Bateman. Welcome to the brand new episode of Promptings with Kody B. We are going to be recording this today at our brand new facility. We are moving into our brand new facility here on the south end of the Salt Lake Valley. And you're probably going to see a lot of stuff going on in the background. It's just kind of chaotic today, which is exciting because we're moving into a brand new state-of-the-art facility. It's here to help people act on their promptings each and every day. What I'm excited about our show today is I have a very, very special guest. Her name is Diane Walker. Diane Walker is an Eagle affiliate of Promptings. That is the top rank in our direct sales company. And there's 8 levels to get up to that. She's in the top rank and has been for many years. She has been with us on this Promptings journey for 18 years. She's phenomenal at helping people to act on their promptings, to reach out in kindness every day. She's one of the best mentors and coaches in the world at doing that. She's helped tens of thousands of people throughout the world do that with us over the last 18 years. She is a kind, humble servant. She loves people. You're going to hear from her today about the importance of detaching yourself from crazy details and just love people. That's really her simple message. You're going to hear it right from her today. So come on back and listen to us as we pick up Diane Walker and do some interviewing, and come back with us in a couple of seconds and enjoy this show. Thanks, everybody. And there she is, Diane Walker. How are you, my friend?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
You look like $1,000,000, like always. And what an inspiration that you have been to so many people throughout your career. It's such an honor to have you on here with us. You and I have had the chance to work together for the last, do you realize it's been 18 years you and I have worked together? Can you believe that?
No, I don't know where the time goes.
18 years. I remember the first time I met you, I can't remember the city, but we were in a hotel and we were in a big lobby area, and I sat down and you sat down. I remember it like it was yesterday, and we just started having a nice chat about the time we had just launched the company's send out cards. And do you remember that? We sat and we talked about what the possibilities would be way back when we started. Do you remember that?
Back in the beginning, I think, was it in Rhode Island?
I think you're right. I think it was in Rhode Island. That's right. You have a better memory than I do. So
in the past.
Yeah. And I just remember that. And it's kind of funny because when you meet people, and this show's about promptings, and a lot of times you're prompted and inspired by certain people. I remember when I first met you, the prompting I had was, this is a woman that's going to have a major impact on my family's life. That was my first impression of you.
That was even before you taught us about promptings.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And in fact, in Rhode Island, we had that little meeting, and then we had, at the time, we called it a Treat 'em Right seminar. Today, we call it a prompting seminar, but it's pretty much the same type of teaching. But even 18 years ago, we would start. And do you remember when we had that event? What was the first thing I did? What story did I tell when we first started?
The story about your brother.
Story about my brother, which is how we always start every event and have done for the last 18 years. And I'll tell you, you've been on that journey with us from the very beginning. I want to talk about, because this is one of the things that most impresses me about you. You are an incredible professional businesswoman that has mentored thousands of people to have success in business. And you do it the promptings way. You teach people how to act on promptings, how to send cards out to people, how to follow up with people, how to create genuine connection with people. And you're one of the best at it. And one of the things that always impressed me about you is that is that you had ability to do that where no matter who joined you in your organization, they just knew. It's almost like you were a mother figure. I don't know what else to say. It's like you're a mother figure to everybody that joins you, and they feel a motherly, compassionate love from you. That's one of the things I first noticed about you. And I'm just, you probably come by that naturally, but
I just like people. And I want people to have success. And it's just, I just always fall in love with everybody.
And you always say, I'm a behind the scenes girl. I don't like to be in the limelight. You say that all the time. I don't like to be in the limelight. But here's what's interesting. I remember when we started doing our big conventions, our annual conventions, literally from the very beginning, our annual conventions where everybody from all different teams, there are lots of teams that would come from around the world, and they'd come into our events, and everybody would have their separate team meetings. And I remember the first time going to one of your team meetings at the convention. So here's Diane Walker, who doesn't like to be in the limelight, doesn't like to be on the stage, but I go into this room, and it's like your team was as big as the whole, I just did the main event, and I come into your deal and everybody's in there. Even if they weren't on your team, they were in there.
I always adopt people.
You always adopt people, and you not liking to be on the stage was in the front of the room, answering people's questions, teaching, mentoring, coaching, and everybody felt that love from you. So it's just incredible. So again, kudos to you for that. Now, we're in that type of business. Promptings is a business, and you are at the top level at Promptings. It's called Eagle for all of those who are listening. Our top rank that you can reach in our direct sales company, there's 8 levels, and the 8th level, star 8, has a name attached to it, Eagle. And you are one of only 5 or 6 that have ever become an Eagle. So you've reached the top rank in our business. And I want to I'm going to put you on the spot for a second. I'm going to ask you, how did you do it? How did you reach the top rank in this business?
I actually don't know, just by working with people. And I was working with people and teaching them to grow their own businesses. And I don't know. I don't do the, I know we should do goals and levels. I never tried to do anything. I just always tried to help people first. I never put them first or anything like that.
I knew you would answer that way, and that's what I want to talk about. I hope everybody's listening to what Diane's saying right now, is that, she's like, I don't know. I just love on and help people. Yeah. And you're saying that on its own is the key to your success, right?
Yes, sir. Sure is.
And you've mentored many people on your team to high ranks. So there's been many people you've mentored up through the ranks, and I notice they have a tendency to pick up that same trait. They kind of pick up the trait because I don't know all the details. I just need to love on my people and make sure they know I care and whatnot. And you're very, very good at that. So yeah. So over 18 years now, we together have been teaching the promptings process to the world. And the promptings process about helping people act on their promptings to reach out in kindness, and whatever you send out kind of comes back to you in life. Can you just share with us, over that 18-year span, any lessons that you have learned by following this philosophy, or stories you might share, or just anything in regards to that, just anything you want to talk about?
It just comes natural, I think, because you've taught me to act on promptings, and even it just, like, when I think of something, I do it right away, because I know if I put it off, I won't get it done. I send cards, or I help other people. And I don't know, it just comes natural to me. I don't really think about it. I just do it.
Well, you definitely came here that way. I appreciate you saying I taught you. You came knowing all this stuff. You taught me as much as I ever taught you, for sure, just by your example. But we have a tool here. We have a tool that we can use to do that acting, to share our kindness with others, to show people how much we care. So that might be the difference. Before you were introduced to send out cards, you were doing those things. You just didn't have that specific tool. Exactly. So once the tool came into your life, what difference did the tool itself make for you?
Well, I was in network marketing for a number of years. And when I saw send out cards, I got a card in the mail and I looked at it and I thought, okay. He said, go ahead and send a card. And I thought I was sending an e-card. So right. I was really surprised they didn't tell me it was a real card that came in the mail. So when I found out it was a real card, I said, why wouldn't anybody want to do that? Because all my life in my other businesses, I had always sent cards. And I'd go down to this card store and buy cards. I had them filed in the file cabinet by birthdays, anniversaries, everything. Somebody's birthday would come up. I had a lot of cards, but I didn't have the right card for that person. So I found out you could make a card that you could send out to reach that person. That's a no-brainer. So it just was a natural thing to share with other people and show them how to do the same thing, because everybody needs to send cards and build relationships with people.
So I want to talk to you. Jody and I was talking about this actually last night, where she was actually on our system sending cards. I was watching her send cards.
She did really good.
She was fun on the show, wasn't she? Yeah. Great job. But we were talking about, we've been doing this for 20 plus years now, sending these cards out all the time. What we talked about was, there was a day where we, just like you, were sending cards without this system. So we'd have to go to the store, we'd have to find the right card, we'd have to go find some stamps, go to the, stop off at the post office, get some stamps, and then we'd come back home. And then, and then you finally open it up and you finally write a message in and you send it. So there's a lot of detail around sending a card without the tool like we have. So for 18 years now, we've had a tool where you don't have to do any of the other stuff. The entire focus is on your prompting that you have to reach out to somebody. So the entire focus now is on actually sending the card. The entire focus is on what can I say to this person in this card right now that will touch their lives? I love them. I appreciate them. I want to write a message so that they know that I love them and I appreciate them. What we noticed is that when that's all you have to focus on, you can really dial in on that appreciation energy. But when you have to go work all the logistics around getting a card out, you kind of lose a little bit of that. So the cool thing about send out cards is that all you have to do is you have a prompting to send a card to somebody. That's the thought. You have the feeling about that person and you put it into words, maybe you add a picture and send it out. So what's that been like for you? I know that you're just like Jody. You probably sit down every night, you send a couple of heartfelt cards to people.
Yeah, or like I was at the car dealer today. I had my phone and I thought of somebody, so I sent them a card right away when I do it. But the funny thing is, we had an event at our church a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot. I sent me a card to take to the pastor. And I wanted to put a gift card in it and stuff. And I sent it. We were going to take it in. And that sat on my desk for 3 weeks before I got it. And I finally remembered it this week. I went, oh, I brought this card because I sent it to myself, because our church uses the cards too. So they know I do it by the mail. Yeah. And I said, see how hard it is to send a card and remember to take it when you don't have a system that sends it there.
So you kind of get spoiled with the, once you push the send button, your job's done, and that the card is going to get delivered to somebody. And and you were with us way back in the early days when really the only thing you could do was send a card. You really couldn't attach a gift. You were there before we had gifts, right?
Oh, yeah. We didn't have gifts and we had just a card and we didn't have pictures.
Didn't
We
have
just had a
pictures, so you
card.
couldn't
Yeah.
add pictures. So, and we probably only had maybe a couple of hundred card designs in the card catalog. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah. And
But
then
it
we
was
got
enough.
one
It wasn't
picture. Remember, we could have one picture, just one.
just
And then
one.
people
Well,
wanted two. I
yeah.
remember that.
So it's interesting when you first started, people that use our system today, if they went back to when you started, they would think to themselves, wow, this thing's very limited.
Yeah,
But
probably, but I thought it was the neatest thing I'd ever seen because nobody had anything like that.
yeah, and
And,
we've kind of evolved over the years. So do you remember when we first started, when we added gifts? Do you remember when we first started? Now I can
Yeah, we added
attach
brownies.
it. What
Mhm.
was that experience like?
That
So
was
you've been
cool.
sending cards maybe for, I don't know, a couple of years on our system. And then
Before.
all of a sudden we introduced gifts and now you can attach gifts. What was that like for you? What
That
was
was really cool because then you could send a card and a gift. But before, it was many years, I think. I don't remember when we started sending gifts, probably 2007 or 8.
6 or 7, maybe something
Yeah,
like that.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought it was really cool. And everybody wanted brownies. They're the best brownies in the world. So,
Yeah.
and I always tell people when I send you a card with brownies, the calories don't count.
Yeah. We had a saying once, can't remember how that's saying, people will forget what you said and what you did, but they'll never forget how they made you feel. I think
Oh, yeah.
Angela, who was it?
Oh, gosh.
Who? Oh, come on, you guys. And
Maya
Maya Angelou made
Yeah.
that quote many years ago. We kind of changed that to say, people will forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but they will never, ever forget how the brownies tasted, right?
Yeah, they were delicious. Now
That's
we have
great.
so many gifts, though. I'm like, I was watching Jody and I thought, oh, that's perfect. I want to get that book she was reading on there for my grandson. So I sent it.
Yeah.
I sent it to me so I could take it to him.
So you've watched how our gifts have evolved over the years. I
Mhm.
mean, remember when we first we only had 5 or 6 gifts, brownies,
And
cookies,
caramels and
and
cookies.
caramels. There were just 4 or 5 very basic things. But today, like you said, you mentioned Jody, my wife, on the
Yeah.
one of our affiliate calls a few nights ago. She talked about a lot of these new gifts. I mean,
Yeah.
what is your impression of how the gift selection has evolved over the years?
It's come a long way. Now
Yeah.
we just have food, but we have everything. We have something for anybody, for the kids or for women and men and the house. They have a whole bunch of gifts now.
So when you think about, and you've done this with us for a long time, and you can send cards, you can
Mhm.
attach gifts, you can be who you naturally are, motherly instinct, and take care of and love on people and share with them. So you completely understand the power that we have with our promptings mechanism. I mean, there's incredible power. And I want you to kind of talk to us a little about what are some of the blessings of being able to act on your promptings simply every day and sending kindness out to the world. What does it do for you in your life and your family's life?
It's always a surprise because when I think about it and I get prompted to do something, I send it and I forget I sent it. And people, oh, I loved your card. It made a blessing in their life, or I got it sent a gift. I sent one lady the boo things for Halloween, and she came running over. Oh, that was so cool. I like those little yellow, one of those little candy corn that came in it. She said, I love that. And she said, I don't ever go out and buy that. It was just the right amount for me. But people get so excited. So you become, they know you're thinking of them, in other words, and they're blessed. So you're sending a blessing to someone else.
So when people get excited, what does that do for you?
I'm glad that they're excited, but I feel like I really didn't do anything. I just thought of them. I had a prompting, I act on it, and then I give them a blessing in their lives because they get a joy knowing that somebody's thinking of them.
Yeah. Now I want you all to notice what Diane just did there. You know, and that's who Diane is. Everything is about the people she serves. I'm asking her, what does that do for you personally? And she immediately sends it back to the person that she served. So what
It's
you're
not
saying
about me, it's about sending a blessing to someone else, and what you send out comes back to you tenfold.
okay, so yeah, exactly. So the focus is 100% what you can send out to others.
Mhm.
And if that stays the focus, people feel that genuine connection that you have with them. And you just said that energy comes back to you tenfold. Okay, but the key is to keep the focus, because you know we talk a lot about some people send out kindness in hopes of getting something in return.
Oh, I don't do that.
We try to teach that you never do that. You give to give. You send out positivity for the sake of sending out positivity. You completely 100% detach from any desire of anything in return. You're only there to serve. That's kind of hard to teach people, isn't it? Isn't that kind of hard to teach? I mean, it comes naturally to you. It probably comes naturally. Well, it definitely comes naturally to my wife, Jody. And because I hang out with her, it becomes natural to me. But once you're in the habit of genuinely giving, then it kind of becomes part of who you are. But there's a lot of people in the world that they think in terms of what can they gain in life. You know, that we live in, that's the world we live in. You know, what can I get? How can I go out and get stuff? You know, how can I get stuff? And you deal with that when you're teaching people about the Promptings tools and products and services. There's a lot of people that, oh, I could use this for my marketing, and I could send this stuff out for my marketing, and and I'll bet you if I do that, I'll get a bunch of business. I mean, you deal with people out there all the time. How do you get them to shift?
I know you don't want to do that. You want to send out something to make them happy. You don't want to market to them. I get so much junk. Don brought all this mail in tonight. I got a whole pile of junk mail, and I don't even open it. But if you send something to them that you're thinking about them, and maybe you're sending a box of brownies with it, so you get their attention, but you're sending it to give to them, not to get something. Because you just don't get anything for sending out all this junk mail or sending people the same card to everybody, you know, advertising a business. I mean, it just doesn't do anything.
So let's talk about some of your customers that you have with the send out cards and the prompting services. I mean, you've some of your customers are probably in real estate, right?
Yeah, but they're team members. They're not my personal customers.
Okay, so you have team members.
I have some that are in construction and roofing and things like that. But I taught them, don't send out a card advertising your roofing, you know, send out a card. And when you sell a job, get the person's birthday. And next year, send them a birthday card. Nothing about advertising, but send them a birthday card. And they'll remember you, because I can't tell you how many people we've used over the years that we never heard from again after they did a job. But if you have a roof, somebody's going to need a roof, or their neighbor might need a roof. You want them to remember your name, but not by advertising. You want to send them a personal card every year. Send them a box of brownies every year.
A lot of people in their marketing, they may come back to you and say, well, yeah, I can do that, but shouldn't I ask for a referral? I mean, shouldn't I but don't you get that question a lot?
Yeah.
Well, I should ask for a referral, or I should ask for business, right?
No, I don't ask, earn it, you know, do a good job, send them a thank you card after the job, send them a thank you card for using your service. And then be sure you send them a card each year, send them a holiday card or something in between, or maybe even a birthday card every year. And they'll remember you because you don't have to ask.
For all of our listeners, you are listening to Diane Walker. She is one of the top promptings coaches there is in the world today. She's taught people the power of acting on promptings and reaching out kindness in their personal life and in their business. I'm here to tell you all who are listening right now that the customer base she has served and the affiliates who have customer base that have been on her team that she has taught have delivered more results in terms of relationship marketing success than any other business or any other follow-up system people have ever tried. Like her effectiveness, if people listen to what Diane tells them to do with the cards, their effectiveness is 10x what they would experience in any other type of follow-up. And you've been doing it for 18 years now. And what she just told you is the reason why. Diane, you've always been adamant about that messaging. You've always, no. Don't just say thank you. Just say happy birthday. Don't, nothing else. No, don't do that other stuff. And you're constantly now, and the people that you coach get phenomenal results. That's why they love you, because they get phenomenal results by following that advice. Now, you don't just tell them, you actually do it. Mm-hmm. You've built teams of people, and you've been in our organization where if a distributor or an affiliate on your team does certain amount of business, it will elevate you up to a higher level. But when you work with those people, did you ever try to tell them that they had to do this X amount of business to get to that next level? Or did you just
no, I just showed them to share and send cards. All I do, and I tell everybody, is I send cards and I teach people how to send cards. That's all I do.
That's it.
That's it.
So that's it. So people that use our service, they kind of fit two categories. One is they're a customer of ours, and they use our product for a lot of different reasons. They use it for personal and or business use. So we have a lot of people like in that arena. The other arena are people that do that, but they also want to be affiliates and share it with others. Mm-hmm. And so in both of those camps, your advice always is, look, there's two simple things: send cards, show others how to send cards. And that's it. And if you'll do that, you'll have massive success. Diane, how many people have come in and out of this business who have challenged that? Oh, that's not,
that.
Yeah.
Because
it's got to be bigger than that. You got to do more than that, right? Where are those people today?
They're gone.
Not around.
Still, probably some of them still use the service as a customer, but if they chase the money, they never get there because they are pushing the advertising stuff.
It's interesting that, you are one of the top affiliates for Promptings and before Send Out Cards. Jordan Adler is your associate, your peer. He's one of the top affiliates in Promptings and Send Out Cards movement. So both of you are right at the top echelon of it. And it's interesting to me that both of you teach exactly the same thing.
Mm-hmm. That's all there is.
Simple. Act on promptings by using the cards, and show others how to act on promptings by using the cards, and you'll have success in all areas of your life. And you've stayed, this is what's interesting, you stayed true to that, where a lot of other leaders didn't. They would say it for a while, and then they'd kind of fall into, well, we got to show more stuff, we got to do all this other things, whatnot. But you and Jordan, both two of the top in our business, have always stayed very true to that simple message. And I think there's a lot to learn from that. It's very powerful. So I just tell you, we are just super inspired by you every single day. And, I just, towards the end of these interviews, I like to kind of just shut up and let you talk. I always like to end the interview by just giving you the floor I'm not going to ask you anything at all. Just kind of give you the floor. And again, our purpose at Promptings with Kody B, this podcast, our purpose is to teach the world the power of promptings and how promptings will transform their life. That's what our job is here, is to teach people the power of promptings. So to close out the show today, I'd just like to give you the floor and talk to our audience about anything you feel that they need to hear in terms of acting on promptings and making a difference in others' lives. Go ahead.
Yeah. If you're acting on a prompting, like whatever comes to your mind, do it right then. We have the power to do it because we have cell phones now, and we have an app that you can send a card right from there. I was at the car dealers today, and I thought of somebody, and I see pictures on Facebook of things that you celebrate. They're celebrating their child or their husband or whatever. Send them a card with their picture on it. It makes a big difference. If you just reach out and help other people, whatever you send out will come back to you. I'm not I don't like the limelight. I don't like to be on shows like this, really, but I like to help other people one by one, and that whatever you build will come back. You can do anything you set up your mind to do.
So just to add to that, a lot of people listening may think, this card sending thing's cool, and the ability to send a card's cool. Your advice is to act on promptings and send a physical card out to somebody. There's a lot of people today that might say, well, I could just do that on Facebook. What do you say to those people? I can do all that just on Facebook or Instagram.
Before I came here, they used to have these e-cards. I don't know if you remember. I don't even know if they have them anymore, but they had e-cards. And after a while, you got the 100th Christmas tree in your email. Right. It got really old. And then I thought, wow, you can't put that on your wall. You can't put it in the house. You can't frame it. You can make a card with somebody's picture on it, and you can frame them. You can get frames for them. We even have the 8.5 by 11 cards you can send. I mean, the big ones. If you see they had a new grandbaby, send them a picture card with their grandbaby on it. So many people, I'm not reaching out to try to sell them anything or anything. They come back and ask me if they want to do the business. I don't go out and try to recruit them into anything. I just send cards.
And you think a lot of that is because they've received something tangible in the mail. Like you said, when people get a card that might have their picture on it, and on the inside is a heartfelt message from you to, share an appreciation with that person, they don't throw those away.
No, they don't. In fact, it's funny. My daughter's friend, she had a grandbaby, and I made this card with the little babies on it, and I sent it to her. And she posted it on Facebook. Oh, this is so cool. Look at this card I got, and I didn't send it for any reason other than to make her day and have a card with her grandbaby on it. So yeah. It's just sharing.
I know at one point we had a little phrase that said, appreciation you can touch. So it's that card, gift that shows up in the mail. Now the person that received your kindness is using all of the senses. They see it, they feel it, they can touch it, they can smell the paper. I mean, all the senses are being used, and now it's a tangible piece of evidence that somebody cares about them.
Yeah.
There's a saying for you: a tangible piece of evidence that somebody cares about you.
Right.
And that's the reason it hangs on their fridge, or it's put into it's put into a frame and hung on the wall. People will run into burning houses to save the product you sent them because it means that much to them. And so you over the years, Diane, you have been just one of the strongest advocates of this movement. We appreciate so much all that you've done for so many people over the years. You continue to be a shining example to all of us. We love you and appreciate you so much. And, we'll have to have you come back on again, and I know we've got some, by the way, just so everybody listening in, we are in our brand new facility here at promptings.com. And we're still moving in, like we're moving stuff in. You can probably see in the background. This is not our normal podcast spot, but Diane was available today. And even though we're just moving stuff in and things going crazy, we were not going to pass up the chance to be able to interview Diane Walker today, Eagle affiliate of the company Promptings, one of our top affiliates in the entire world, has affected the lives of tens of thousands of people around the globe. And we just appreciate all that you do. And let's just keep doing it. We're not going to stop till the world listens, right?
Right. I appreciate you and Jody for starting this company. It was amazing. All the things you've gone through to build it. No.
Well, thank you so much. And thanks for being with us on the journey. And we'll just keep moving forward. So there you have it, my friends. Make sure you keep coming back to us week after week. Listen, we are here to teach people the power of promptings. A promise that I made to my brother many, many years ago is that I would act on my promptings and show others how to act on their promptings. That was the twofold promise made. And Diane Walker has been enormous in helping me deliver that promise to my brother and in helping thousands of others do the same. So God bless you, you and Dawn and your family. You have a great grandchild now, is that right?
Yes, I do. He's going to be 5 this January.
So you have 5 grandchildren and one great grandchild, and about to turn 5.
He's about to turn 5 already. I can't believe he's
my goodness.
His mom just graduated from medical school, so she's been really busy.
Wow. Well, you have a beautiful family. We appreciate you all so much. Take care, everybody. We'll see you again next week.